Howdy, welcome back. Okay, last week we made that Italian cream cake, the shortcut Italian cream cake, and I just got flooded from people saying, oh, please, 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 show us more shortcut cakes. That was so good. I made it. It was good. It was amazing. So, we're going to start off today with another shortcut cake, and then we're going to go to a money-saving tip. While the cake's cooking, I'm going to show you something else that'll help save you money in the long run. But first, let's do the cake. And because I hear from people all the time, I don't have a stand mixer. So today, ta-da, going to show you how to do it this way. Alright, so I've put a Devil's Food cake mix. Just the Devil's Food cake mix. Dump it in the bowl. Alright. And to that, we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of water and 1/4 of a cup of oil. Now, I know normally I tell you never use oil when you're baking, but this is so rich that it's okay. You don't have to substitute butter for this. I know you see the butter here. That's going to be to grease the pan. Alright? So, next we're going to add 4 eggs. Remember what I told you last week. Make sure everything is at room temperature before you start baking. Alright, so now we've got 2/3 cup of water, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, canola oil, a clear oil, 4 eggs, and we're going to add in a box of instant pudding, chocolate instant pudding, because this is going to be, it's my version. My cousin makes a thing called a Oooohhh cake, because when you eat it, you go, ooh, ah. Well, I took her Oooohhh cake and made it my own, which is what you should do. That's common sense cooking. Take a recipe and make it your own. Just play with it. Are you going to hit a home run every time? No. But you tweak it, and you just keep tweaking it, and you keep trying, and eventually you'll hit a home run, and it's like, bingo, I got it. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't follow a recipe word for word. Consider a recipe a guideline. Okay, young people aren't going to know what a map is, but in the old days, we had maps. Before GPS, we had maps. And you get the map out, and you're here, but you want to go here. So the road, the main highway is here. Well, in between there are all these little side roads to all these little towns that all lead back. And sometimes it's fun to just take one of those side roads and explore these little hidden jewels around you. You know, well, think of a recipe like that. The recipe, you've got this, and it gives you the guidelines to get here. Well, there's no sense in you can't go off and off and off and off and wander around. You're still going to come get here, but you'll get here better or different. That's okay. That's what cooking to me is all about. That's why I call it common sense cooking. Use your common sense. Don't be afraid to take risks. It's important that you do that. Okay, so sorry. That's my rant for today. I promise you I'm done. Devil's Food cake mix. 4 eggs. 2/3 cup of water. 1/4 cup of oil, 1 package of chocolate instant pudding. Now I'm going to put in about a cup or so of sour cream. And this is why I said it's okay to use the oil in this instead of the butter. For that very reason. Get it all. You want all of it. Use your finger. It's alright. As long as you wash your hands before you cook, it's okay. Don't go pet the dog or change the baby or anything like that. And I promise we'll do other real food too. We don't have to always do cakes, but we're getting into the holiday. Oh boy, you can't wait. My favorite time of year is October, November, December. I live for that. You just wait. I'm working on some Thanksgiving stuff, some Halloween spooky treats, all kinds of stuff. And then Christmas, don't even get me started. We'll probably have a 2-hour Christmas special on nothing but baking Christmas cookies. Because I don't bake a little Christmas cookie. Everything you see here on this side, on that side, over there behind you that you can't see, over here behind you that you can't see, will be containers this big full of cookies. Because I do cookie trays at Christmas, and so I have to have a big variety of cookies. Plus, all the kids have their favorite, and grandkids have their favorite, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, this, don't pay attention to this yet. This is going to be the topping. Oh, and the pecans. We'll put the pecans in there too. Okay, so now what we're going to do, you can tell I haven't used this in a long time, but for you I will. Always start it on low so you don't blow it all out all over the counter and lose it all. You're going to give it a good, just till all the dry is wet. You just do it enough to all the dry is wet and the eggs are mashed up. And then bump it up to medium. Keep it moving. It's going to be really, really thick and really, really rich. It's going to be one of the best chocolate cakes ever. I'm taking this to work tomorrow, Saturday. So, I treat the partners that I work with on Saturday to a cake. The reason everything I bake on this show goes to work with me, is given away to somebody, because my husband is diabetic and he will eat the whole thing. And I still have way too many honeydews to lose him right now. After that, you know, it's up for grabs. But right now I need him, so I can't let him eat anyway. Just kidding. I don't want anything to happen to my husband. I don't want to. Okay, now we're just going to clean the beaters off. Okay. Alright. So there. So now, let's go ahead and get our pan ready. And you're going to take your stick of butter. And I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, if you're using that cheap margarine, you might as well just be crushing up this right here. Because you add one more molecule to any of the margarines. Pick a brand, I don't care. You add one more molecule to it and you have plastic water bottles. I kid you not. I kid you not. That's all it's missing is one molecule to become full-blown plastic. And the same thing with Cool Whip. If you're eating that, it's just as easy to make your own whipped cream. So I'm just going to grease this pan. I'm using this foil pan because I don't want to have to worry about getting my pans back. I never do. If they go to work, they tell me they get thrown away, which I don't believe, but you know how that is. There's always that one hoarder. Alright. It's going to be perfect. Now, most people like to grease and flour. Don't ever do that. You don't have to flour it. You should never have to flour. And if you do need to flour something, if it's a really sticky, gooey cake, what you want to do is, for something sweet like a cake, muffins, anything like that, you don't use flour, you use sugar. Use sugar or powdered sugar. And it'll work the same and it'll taste better. Okay, so now we're done with this. So what we're going to do now, so y'all can see this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate chips, half the bag of chocolate chips. You can use anything, milk chocolate, semi-sweet. I'm using semi-sweet because that's what I had. And you got to pour in about a half a bag. You're going to pour in about a half a bag or so. Not an exact science. Not an exact science. And we're just going to stir those in. They don't need to be folded. Remember what folding is? You incorporating air. You go down and over, down and over, down and over. When you need like a chiffon cake or souffle, anything like that that's very light and airy, an angel food cake, that uses a lot of egg white, that's egg white based. After you beat those egg whites, you don't want to deflate them because if you stir them up, they go they turn into a flat mush. You don't want that. Okay. So now we're going to put this in the pan. And you're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Or until it's done. And how do you know it's done? Well, on this kind of cake, on most kind of cakes, you can just stick a bamboo skewer in it. That's what I do. Because we're going to stick bamboo skewer hole. I don't like to do that on most cakes because I don't want the holes in it. But if, you know, but on this kind of cake, we're going to poke holes all in it when it's done to put the frosting on, or the topping on. It's not a frosting. There's a difference between a frosting and an icing and a topping and a glaze. We'll go into that in detail later. Okay, so we want to make sure we get all of it. I want it all. I will leave nothing behind. Okay, well, a little bit behind. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, hey. Hell's bells. Oops, sorry about that. Just that goes to the cook. Okay. 350 degrees, let me wash my hands and we'll get started on something else. Alright. I'm still here. I'm just setting the timer. Because I know us, we'll get to talking and then, you know. Okay, so, now. We're going to wait on the frost, or on the topping a minute. Since we've got some time to kill before it's ready for that anyway. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to save some money. That's important today. You know, everybody has more time than they do money. Save some money for you and your family. That's another way this show works. That's why we do cheap, inexpensive meals under 10 bucks to feed a family of 4. And try to get it done in under 15 minutes. That's the whole point of this, of Down Home with Leon. Well, that, and I know some of you just think, tune in just for the hilarity because, well, it's me. All right. I know I threw that. Okay. How many of you every week go to the deli and buy your lunch meat? Or you go to the lunch meat section and buy your lunch meat. And you're paying out the wazoo. For example, a good quality ham is going to run you about $8 a pound. Somewhere around there. $5 to $8 a pound. Let's just say 5 to 8. Let's make a nice window. So that's pretty expensive and you probably usually can't get more than a pound. And then you ration it out to small pieces to make it last through the week for kids' lunches or whatever. Alright. This is a fully cooked spiral sliced ham. At my local grocery store, they have them on sale for $1.99 a pound. Now remember, lunch meat is $5 to $7 a pound. Okay? This is good quality ham for $1.99 a pound. Then on top of that, they had a $5 off coupon on it. I couldn't resist. I bought 3 of these hams. 3. And the most expensive one I paid for was $15. Now, I didn't buy them all at the same time. I went back and went back and went back. Actually, I bought 2 and my husband bought 1. But this ham right here, and we've already eaten part of it. As you can tell, my husband got into it. But it was out to here, about to there. And this ham cost us $12. $12 for a real ham. Also, if you look at this and the ingredients that went into curing this ham, and then look at the ingredients that are in processed meats, lunch meats at the grocery store or at your local deli. Read the ingredient list. Half of them you won't be able to pronounce because they're loaded full of preservatives, and those have 3 times the sodium that this ham does. I mean, common sense. Plus, think of how many I'm going to get out, how much I'm going to get out of this. Plus, I got the bone, which is awesome because the bone means, you know what that means? That means beans. That means soup. That means stock. That means so much. And these are spiral sliced, so it's great. Here's what we're going to do. I've got my quart-sized bags. And we'll pull some out. And I'm going to think of lunch meat first, because these are big pieces of ham. So I'm going to say 4. We'll start with 4. Let me grab a knife to get it from around the bone. Because it is spiral sized, but you know there is a bone in there, so you don't want to lose that meat that's on the bone necessarily. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, oh, well, almost perfect. Cut my damn hand off in a minute, and then y'all laugh at me. That's why I tell my grandkids when they do something stupid, I tell them, I say, you hurt yourself, I'm going to laugh at you. Because they're doing something stupid to get hurt. And you may have to wiggle around to get past the bone. Fight the battle. Okay, we'll do it in 2 pieces. Anyway, look at the size of these slices. Look at this. I'm thinking 1 piece will make 2 sandwiches. You know? And not just that. You know, you can take this ham, these slices, put them in a pan with some butter, add some sliced sweet potatoes, and oh, you would not even begin to understand how wonderful that tastes. Anyway, so here's 4 slices, which I think is going to be more than enough per bag. So we're going to put them in the bag. More than enough. And if you fold them in there, that's okay. And what I'm going to do with them is I will put 1 bag in the refrigerator. And did I get the quart size? Ah! Damn it, Lynn. Hang on. No wonder they're not fitting. Good Lord, y'all just going to sit there and laugh at me while I played with those, weren't you? Well, there they are. Okay. Alright. That's the sandwich size bag. Although these sandwich size bags, that's when you make up your rice for the week, or, you know, your rice stock. Remember we talked about this. Make up a big old pot of rice, put them in these sandwich size bags, put them in the freezer, and then you've always got rice made for dinner. If you're going to do something, you can do something really quick. Ham and rice. Oh, so nice. Ham and rice, oh, so nice. And you just say, here, piggy, come get in my belly. Alright. So just like that. Doesn't have to be pretty. We're going to put it on a sandwich probably. So does it really have to be pretty? I don't think so. Alright. There we go. Get rid of that. That's trash. That's nasty. Okay, throw that in the sink with everything else. So we're just gonna keep going through here and going through here and going through here, and then I want to show you how to harvest the bone when we get to the bone part. We're gonna go through the ham to get to the bone. Now you can do the same thing. Well, Lord have mercy, I just dropped a whole piece of ham on the floor. That just made the dog happy. Good night, nurse. You can do the same thing with turkey. You know, around the holidays, they sell the turkeys for like 79 cents. You know, the frozen turkeys, the big frozen turkeys. They sell them for like 79 cents a pound when you buy $10 worth of groceries. Now, most of the time when you go to the grocery store, you're going to spend at least $10, you know, on groceries. So you buy the turkeys at 79 cents a pound. You don't go for the giant one like it's Thanksgiving. You go for the small ones, like a 10-pound turkey. You know, a 10-pounder or a 12-pounder, something like that. Then you cook that turkey. Put it in your roaster, put it on the pit and smoke it, put it in the oven, whatever. But then you cook that turkey, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to slice it up, bag it up, and then you have oven roasted turkey breast for 79 cents a pound, which you have seasoned. You know what's in it. You know it's not full of chemicals, because unless you're shooting it full of chemicals, and then, well, I don't want to know your business. Anyway, do you see what I'm saying? This is how you save money. This is common sense cooking, and it tastes better. This tastes better than anything you will find in a package at the grocery store. I'm just telling you right now, because this is a real ham. And I'm still sticking with my four slice rule. And you're going to have some meat that's left on the bone. That's okay. That's okay. That is okay. It just seasons up your beans or your soup even better. Don't you ever throw away a good bone either. You should never throw out bones. Good bones. Big bones. Turkey legs. I love the turkey leg bones because I use those in soup all the time. Right now what I'm doing is just kind of cleaning up the little bits and pieces, because those can go in a bag too. There's nothing wrong with that. My chickens were in here. They'd be saying, give it to me. And yes, chickens eat meat. Don't send me letters. They're baby dinosaurs. Once you get it down low enough, you can start using your hands to pull it around. I know, it's kind of, for you guys, it's kind of like watching grass grow. But, you know what? I'm killing time till the cake's ready. So, there you go. Normally, I bag each one as I pull it. Because what if the phone rings? What if you get called away? What if you got a kid screaming because they stepped on something, you know? And then you got meat laying out all over the counter. I don't like that, but because I am who I am, I'm just going to use this for the last bit altogether. Okay. Alright, so now look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, that's a pretty ham bone. My little mind is just racing because it's just full of possibilities. Full of possibilities. And these little bits and scraps that are on it, you can leave them on it or you can pull them off and put those in another bag to use to flavor beans, peas, you know. Make a pot of black-eyed peas and ham. There you go. Butter beans, ham, and dumplings. One of my favorite things in the winter. I love butter beans and ham. Lentils and ham. Split pea soup with ham. You know, you can do a lot with ham. Ham gets a very bad rap, I think. But ham is so good. It's not bad for you either. People say pork is bad for you or pork will make you sick. That's not true anymore. That's just like these people say, you know, well, you got to cook, you know, a pork roast, or you got to cook pork chops. You know, people don't like pork chops because they're dry. Because they overcook them. Because, well, if you don't cook it all the way, you'll get trichinosis. Okay, yes, you would have all the way probably as high as the 50s, 60s. But now there's commercial pigs are shot up with so many antibiotics. You know, you're not going to, we're just going to throw that over there to get it out of the way. You're not going to get sick from it. You're just not. That's not true anymore. And so but as a result, what people do is they overcook it. And pork does not take long at all to cook. Pork chops and ham, stuff like that, pork chops especially get overcooked. They're dry all the time. You do not have to overcook it. I would say over if you're doing them on the stove, on a medium-high heat or medium, not more than 3 minutes per side. It actually should be one of your quick meals. Pork chops are very quick. Alright. So there. Okay, after we get this cleaned up, then we'll go on to making our topping. Sorry, looking out the window. Didn't recognize somebody. I thought somebody was here. Alright, so $12. $12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus we already ate on some. I had a ham sandwich today. My husband had ham and eggs for breakfast, so 5 say we got 6 bags total of meat. And I guarantee if I pulled my scale out right now, I could show you these all are way over a pound a piece. Now you take 12. Yes, you did not know you were going to have a math lesson. Say we're rounding it up to 6 bags, okay? So 6, $12 for the ham. 12 divided by 6 is what? 2. That makes it $2 for a package of lunch meat. Big packages. Do you see what I'm saying? Now do you see the cost savings to you? I hope so. And then now we're going to put all these little scraps in here. And I'm probably just going to put these in the fridge instead of freezing them. Because we'll use them everywhere. I'll use them. I cook every day, so. Yesterday you should have been here when I did 4 orders of chicken marsala with Parmesan risotto and sauteed squash. And 2 orders of chopped steak and with mashed new potatoes and my green beans, tomatoes, and onions that everybody loves. I can't ever make a big enough pot of those. Alright, so I'll be right back and we'll go on from there. Alright, cake's just about done. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on what's going to be the topping. And this is a can of sweetened condensed milk. I told y'all this was going to be a richy cake. And I'm telling you right now, somebody bite into it, they're going to go, ooh, ah. That's why it's called an ooh-ah cake. Because they go, ooh, when they look at it, and ah, when they bite it. This is not a diabetic-friendly cake. In fact, if you don't have diabetes, it'll probably give it to you. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. So, got a can of sweetened condensed milk. Now, here's where the rest of the chocolate chips come in. We'll pour those in. Give it a stir. Light stir. Alright. Now we're going to pop this in the microwave till the chocolate chips are melted. And the best way to do that is 30 seconds to a minute at a time. No more than that. We're going to go 30 seconds at a time. And we're going to stir in between each time. And you want this ready because as soon as this cake comes out, that's when this topping has to go on. Also, this is a refrigerator cake. You need to make this the day before because it needs to sit up in the refrigerator overnight. Alright? So I'm just telling you, it's a make-ahead cake. While we're waiting, let me answer some emails because I'm getting a lot of emails. So let me start answering emails. I need to do a show on just answering emails, but that's boring. One of the most asked questions I get is, Lynn, what do you think are the 5 most important things I should have in my kitchen? I get asked that kind of question a lot. Kitchen basics, kitchen essentials. What should I have in my kitchen? See, that's just after 30 seconds. See how quickly that went? Probably do one more 30 seconds and be done with it. That's a hard question to answer because there's so many different kinds of cooks. I mean, for example, if you're a baker and that's your passion is baking, you cook, meals and stuff, but your passion is baking. You would have to have 3 or 4 different sizes of springform pans, at least 2 stand mixers, I would think. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 different sizes of measuring cups. That makes it sounds like a lot, but it makes your life easy if you can measure everything out and then do it. Instead of having to wash this measuring cup to do your next ingredient and so forth. Scales. You need a scale if you're a baker because baking is a science. Most of it, like breads and stuff, is all done by weight. So you have to weigh your ingredients and stuff. Cake pans, Well, we don't even want to get started with that. So that's what I would call flat edge spatulas. All your decorating tips. You know, depends on how elaborate you are. Um, a regular everyday cook. You love to cook. You cook for your family. You cook for your friends. But you're not catering. You're not doing it for a living. You just love to cook. But you don't love to. You're not a gourmet. You know, you don't do fancy gourmet stuff. You just do good, wholesome, common sense food. Which I would say would probably be the majority of us. In that case, complete set of cast iron, because you know how I feel about cast iron. I love it. Stainless. I think everybody should have a set of stainless mixing bowls. This is set number 1 for me, and I've got another one just the same size. I've got springform pans, tart pans, a set of glass bowls, mixing bowls, like Pyrex bowls. And the reason for that is, just like I'm doing now, obviously I can't put a stainless bowl in the microwave. Glass measuring cups. All your measuring cups should be made out of glass, not plastic. Try to avoid plastics as much as possible. I know we can, it's part of our everyday life, but that's what I'm saying. Alright, so that's ready. We're just going to set this to the side until the cake's ready in about 2 minutes. I think everybody should have a food processor. It makes your life easier. I have 2. I have a bigger one than this. I have this one, which is my everyday food processor. That's why it's on the counter. And then I have one over there that's a bigger, but I do that for big jobs like bread doughs, stuff like that. When I'm making dough, I do that in that one. Crock pots. I think you should have 3 different sizes of crock pots. I think you should have a small one, I think you should have a medium-sized one, and I think you should have a big one for various things. I would recommend everybody have at least a nice long size electric skillet. Stand mixer is nice, but you don't have to have it. You could use a hand mixer. A toaster oven and a toaster, both. As far as utensils, you need good knives. You can go cheap on some things, garage sale things, you know, thrift store things, measuring cups, measuring bowls. Stuff like that you could get at garage sales. Even cast iron is. After you watch my show on cast iron, and you'll know that I'm a big believer in garage sales because I'm cheap like that. But on some things, you need to be willing to pull the trigger and spend money that you think is way too much money for that item. But trust me, it's an investment. You will more than make your money's worth out of it, and it's safer. Knives should be your #1 priority investment in the kitchen. Good knives, not cheap knives. In other words, do not go to Walmart and buy your knives. Good knives, really good quality knives. Don't go by the brand, that doesn't make it a quality. Do your homework. Go to Consumer Reports. Don't read everything else on the internet. Go straight to Consumer Reports. They're completely non-biased. They do not have an agenda. They do not take money for advertising from companies. They're the only true, honest review you'll ever get on anything, not just kitchen stuff, on anything. So, we're just about ready to pull the cake out of the oven. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, cake's out of the oven. Now let the fun begin. You got to do this immediately while it's still super hot. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go absolutely nuts poking holes in this thing. We're going to turn this cake into a big old giant piece of Swiss cheese. Only it's going to taste a whole lot better. Now if you see it kind of deflate a little bit, that's okay, because it's going to deflate a lot in just a few minutes. We'll get back to kitchen essentials another day. And you want tons and tons of holes, because the more holes you have, and this would be fun to let the kids do this. Kids will love this part. They love to tear up stuff. So you just put all the holes in it, just like that. Alright, I think we got it going on good. Now, I overbaked this a little bit, and the reason is because we're fixing to just load this sucker up. So now, our sweetened condensed milk and chocolate chip mixture, that goes in first. That goes on first. Just pour it on there. Pour it on. Alright. And then, let me get over here where y'all can see me. I'm sorry, didn't even realize I was in the dark over there where y'all couldn't even see me. Okay, so now just pour it on, lather it on. Notice I'm using a spatula too, not the straight edge that I would normally use. Again, this is to show you that you don't have to have fancy tools to work in a kitchen. They're nice to have, they make your life easier, but you don't have to have them. And I don't ever want to hear of anybody going out and buying all this fancy stuff because, well, that's what you use, Lynn. No, that don't work that way. And you want to keep moving this around and moving it around and moving it around so that it's getting, and push it. Push it when you do this because you're pushing it down into those holes. And if it cools off too much and starts to set, just set it in the oven. The oven's off, but it's still hot. Okay. And you're going to keep doing this until you start seeing those air holes. Do you see those air holes that are popping up? That means it is seeping down inside there. You're just going to keep moving it around. Let it go down the edges, all around it. It's okay. It ain't going to hurt nothing. The more the better. And by the way, if you're ever making a Texas sheet cake or a Mississippi mud cake, this is the perfect icing for that too, by the way. Okay. I think we're all in because I'm feeling cake now underneath it. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing big air pockets. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. So now, what we're gonna do is, do you remember last week when we made that Italian cream cake and I told you save your pecans? If you had extra, leave them over. Well, look, I got those extra. If not, just buy a bag of pecans. And if you use your homemade food processor if you want to, remember that? Baggie and a hammer. Now we're going to put the pecans all over it before it sets up. Pecans make it pretty. We always like pretty. Everybody likes pretty. And it also tastes good. Okay. We're going to get rid of it. I saw 2 little flakes of coconut left over from last time. If I wanted to put coconut on there, I would too. Okay, so now, on top of that, we're going to put just some Hershey's syrup. Just chocolate syrup. And we're going to do it at a diagonal this way. We're not going to cover it, just a diagonal, just like this. Alright? Looking good? It smells good. Now we're going to take Hershey's caramel sauce. This is ice cream sauce that you buy in the frozen section, you know, that goes on ice cream. And we're going to do the same diagonal, but we're going to do it this way. Opposite. Just like this. You don't want to cover up everything completely, but you want to make sure every bite will get some of everything. Okay. Now this will go into the refrigerator overnight. And then by morning, all of that, what is this? Sweetened condensed milk. All of this mixture the cake will absorb all of it. And then this will be gelled up on top and it'll be awesome. Now, if you want to, just before you serve it, if you want to put whipped cream over the top, that would be pretty too. That would taste good too. So, alright. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit like and subscribe below. Keep the emails coming. I love answering your questions. I get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, common sense cooking. Get it ready, get it on the table, and let's eat. Y'all have a good week, and I'll see you next week.